Now this, my friends, is comedy gold. One of the trending topics on Twitter today, Twitter, the company that consistently hires true libertarian conservative voices on a regular basis, but they love to push hashtags and trends that make Trump look like an idiot. Quote, a GOP-backed independent enters the presidential race, reports say. Evan McMullin will announce an independent run for the presidency on Monday, according to multiple outlets. He is said to have backing from Republicans and donors who don't support the GOP nominee Donald Trump. And here's the guy, Evan McMullin. Here he is. So, the reason I had to do a video on this is because it's super fascinating how the term independent, an independent candidate. Now, a few months ago, when Donald Trump was officially the Republican nominee, the establishment Republican Party, the Republican Party establishment, was threatening to go third party. They were threatening that they were gonna find some candidate to run as an independent against Donald Trump, because Donald Trump represents the establishment and we don't like him. The reason I'm making this video is because this is basically all the proof you need that the Republican Party, under the leadership of Donald Trump, is no longer an establishment party. The Republican establishment tried to rob the election from Donald Trump. Okay, they tried to, through the delegate system and the delegate shenanigans, they tried to take it from Trump, but Trump is too much of a strong, empowered man, unlike Bernie the weak boy Sanders, who not only allowed the Democrat Party to rob the election from him, even after the DNC leak, email leak, revealed that they were deliberately plotting against Bernie in favor of Hillary, but Bernie even endorsed Hillary and by extension the Democrat Party, because Bernie's a weak boy. So Trump, he was strong enough and successful enough to go in there and steal the election, steal the party from the establishment that has been stealing the party from the voters for decades. Indeed, Donald Trump is finally someone with balls. This fantastic shirt is available on my website right now. Go get it now while it's hot. This is probably going to be limited edition. I'll probably stop selling it once the election is over. So get it now while you can, wear it now while you can, and trigger some stupid liberals. The link to the shirt is in the description below. So the point is that you're supposed to get this impression from this headline. A GOP-backed independent enters the presidential race. And a few months ago when the Republican Party said that they were going to start going third party, you get the impression that Trump is just an establishment candidate and that the Republican establishment that tried to steal it from Trump, they're like the underdogs who are now running third party because they want to be the independent. It's so insane. Like the Orwellian bullshit that's going on right now. So, I guess the analogy I would make would be to Ron Paul in 2012. You know, the Republican establishment trying to claim that it's now independent and that it's third party and it's the alternative and it's hip and cool because it's alternative and it's independent. The equivalent of the Republican Party doing that today would be as if Ron Paul had won in 2012. Remember, Ron Paul ran for president in 2012. I was a big supporter of Ron Paul in 2012. It would be the equivalent of Ron Paul winning the Republican nomination because he ran as a Republican. And then when the Republican establishment, which again back in 2012 was doing the delegate shenanigans to try to rob it from Ron Paul, it'd be like the GOP establishment then saying, oh, well, we're not happy with Ron Paul. He doesn't represent us and the people and the party. So we, the GOP establishment, in revolt against Ron Paul, we're going to run independent and we're going to run third party. It's essentially the same thing, and it's a fucking joke. Which to me is very interesting because Gary Johnson, you know, he likes to market himself like he's Mr. Alternative. I'm the third party candidate. I don't represent the establishment. You know, I'm cool and I'm alternative. But the truth is that, to me, Donald Trump is just as much an alternative candidate as Ron Paul was in 2012. The difference is that Ron Paul didn't have the edge that Trump had. Ron Paul also didn't have the real ballsy assertiveness that allowed Trump to actually successfully hijack the Republican Party, whereas Ron Paul failed to hijack the Republican Party. So, this is just funny. Oh yeah, Evan what's his name? Evan McMullin. Evan McMullin, he's an independent, and we're supposed, oh yeah, the Republican establishment, you know, Trump came in, but we're, with the Republican establishment, we're now the alternative now. We're the hip alternative third party independent. You're still the establishment. You're still the same money and political powers who are butthurt that Trump took the party over the way Ron Paul tried to do in 2012 and 2008. And it's a joke. It's a joke that the establishment is trying to repackage itself as somehow independent and alternative. It's a freaking joke. So that's a little video for all you Gary Johnson suckers. It is funny. A lot of Bernie Sanders fans are actually going to Donald Trump because, hey, it's safe to say that Donald Trump spoke out more against the DNC corruption than Bernie Sanders did. Indeed, Bernie endorsed Clinton and the DNC. So you can just imagine how many Bernie fans. It should be very clear that Trump is an anti-establishment candidate. The mainstream media was silent about the DNC email leak and the whole scandal involved. Hillary Clinton was silent. The Democrat Party was silent. Okay? Bernie Sanders was silent because he was too busy trying to endorse Hillary and quelch the fervor of his most ardent supporters who did not want to go along and endorse Clinton. So it's all a joke. Trump is definitely the alternative candidate. If he can't be trusted, which 90% sure he's the real deal. There's always 10% a chance you don't know if they're the real deal. So there you have it, folks.
Fight back against YouTube censorship by supporting me on Patreon. You'll also get access to exclusive, never-before-seen videos and other perks like monthly Google Hangouts with me, free books and t-shirts, and more.